and also all the fucking stuff with his son and the ties to Ukraine and China and the money, the family, they got paid millions of dollars, and everyone's trying to obscure it because, well, better than Trump. If that guy was a Republican, they would be up his ass with a microscope.
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Betty. That's the smell of panic. The regime is panicking. People are panicking because they're losing control of the narrative. You have the most listened to man in the world, Joe Rogan. I mean, there are despots who only have like a microphone on their desk, right? And they like talk into the little microphone, and they force everyone to listen to their speeches inside of their little dictatorship countries, and they have less of a viewership or listenership than Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is listened to 14 to 15 million people per podcast episode. Joe Rogan is the most listened to man in the world, and he is finally snapping, losing it on the Biden regime, losing it on Joe Biden's corruption, especially in light of what they're doing to Donald Trump right now. Joe Rogan, scorched earth, corrupt career politician Biden has ties to Ukraine and China. He is black-pilling and red-pilling the populace here. Rogan joked that if Biden was a Republican, he would be scrutinized with a microscope up his A. Now, we do know that Joe Biden has had to have some of his colon removed because of colon cancer, cancerous polyps, so maybe they should be putting a microscope up his A. Podcast giant Joe Rogan condemned President Biden, political establishment, for not scrutinizing him the same way they would President Trump. The podcast host went on to list Joe Biden's numerous controversies plaguing the administration. All this effing stuff with his son, his ties to Ukraine and China, and the money, the family, they got paid millions of dollars, and everyone was trying to obscure it because, well, he's better than Trump. If that guy was a Republican, be up his A with a microscope. But he's a career politician. Joe Rogan getting BASED. Based.
What is Biden doing? He fell down again?
Yeah.
Is this today?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't anymore.
Well, here's the sad thing, man. And I say this because, look, my dad was 70 when I was born. My dad was an old man.
Yeah.
So I grew up around a lot of, like, environments where sometimes people would take advantage of my dad because he was old.
But he just fell. He didn't even fall for a reason.
Right, but it's just not fair. Like, at a certain point, you can't, it's not cool to old people to do that to them.
No.
Like, he doesn't know this is happening to him.
Yeah, but he kind of does, and he's kind of a
Well, that could be true. But he doesn't know.
He's always been a though. If you go back and listen to that guy lying about his education record and lying about his accomplishments, and like, he's always been a problem.
Yeah, politician. That whole,
yeah.
It's a fucking.
And, but then also all the stuff with his son and the ties to Ukraine and China and the money, the family, they got paid millions of dollars, and everyone's trying to obscure it because, well, better than Trump. If that guy was a Republican, they would be up his ass with a microscope.
I know, it is unbelievable.
But he represents what they thought was like a sane alternative to what President Trump was.
Yeah.
They thought, this is insane. Donald Trump is the president. That. Anything's better than him. And so they went with this corrupt career politician.
Yeah.
I mean, it's wild stuff, man. They even got the FBI involved in telling Twitter to censor the information about the laptop. It's crazy.
But how do we get out of that space? Because we're starting to turn into one of those kind of like Central American countries where the government is so yes. Like, it's crazy. Yeah. It used to be a long time ago, like, if the secrets of our country got out, like during Watergate or whatever, right? Yeah. People were like, no. But now, if the secrets get out, people are like, yes, tell us what's going. You know what I'm saying? It's interesting how that's kind of changed. Like, before it would be like if any like top secret documents or whatever were released, it would seem like wrong. Well, but now if they're released, we want to know what it is. It's like, does that make any sense?
Well, when was top secret documents released that are showing that someone is behaving in an illegal way or it's bad? I mean, Watergate. That was what Watergate was all about. Yeah, they found out that Nixon was spying. I mean, I think the problem is that, first of all, the media is overwhelmingly left-leaning. And if you have a left-leaning politician or a left-wing Democratic politician, and then you have this media that essentially works to support that person, I mean, they ignore any information that leads to distrust in the government or distrust in this administration or distrust in this party, this political party.
Yeah, it's the dark arts, man.
It is that's the real dark arts.
Doom. Joe Rogan. Based, Red Pill, Theo Von doing the exact same thing. You guys know Theo Von. He's a great comedian and so on and so forth. I like his stuff. What I don't like is that this isn't the number one story in the world. It should be. That indictment, after Donald Trump's indictment, read the full jaw-dropping story about the $10 million Biden got in Ukraine for a bribe. Why wouldn't the feds care about this scandalous allegation, which would have eaten Trump alive? They're exactly right. They're exactly right. On Thursday, the FBI begrudgingly delivered to Congress a document that Republicans say reveals the testimony of a trusted and highly credible informant who alleged that President Joe Biden tried a criminal bribery scheme involving Ukraine gas company Burisma. Apparently, they were paid $5 million apiece. Two congresswomen who have seen the docs on the closely guarded FBI form say that the revelations about the Ukrainian oligarch who owns Burisma paid Hunter and Joe $5 million apiece. So if you're interested in law and order, you assume that you would, investigate this and then show Americans the evidence that this, if it wasn't true, then shows that it wasn't true. By 2016, Hunter Biden admittedly smoked crack every 15 minutes. Interesting. But they were still giving him $83,000 a month, along with huge piles of cash in order to get prosecutor generals like Victor Shokin fired. And Joe Biden, of course, bragged about that in public. That's why 80% of Democrats think that Joe Biden should debate RFK, including 72% of those who support the president, even though he's insisted that he won't face primary rivals. People don't believe Joe Biden. People don't like Joe Biden. People know that there is a dual standard of justice in this country, and they want an alternative. So RFK is polling pretty well. He's doing like 20% against Joe Biden, which is really good for somebody who's been completely blackballed. And the vast majority of Democrats believe that Joe Biden needs to debate this man. That's because the vast majority of Democrats know that it's utterly untenable for people to try and prosecute Donald Trump. Donald Trump facing like 300 years in prison if he's to be found guilty on the mishandling of classified information, even though that's impossible under the Presidential Record Act, but nonetheless. They know that there is a dual system of justice because, well, Hillary Clinton went and smashed all of her classified documents with a hammer, bringing us to the greatest fact check in the history of live TV.
They destroyed BlackBerries with hammers in the State Department. That's not what one the president said.
Actually,
and by the way,
Evan, hold on. Can you fact check that? Hang on, Evan Perez. Hammers, fact check that for me, please, on the fly.
Yes, they did, Brooke. As you mentioned, there were 13 devices, mobile devices, and 5 iPads that the FBI said that, in some way were used with her private email server, and they did, in some cases, just destroy them with hammers when they were done using them.
Boom, shakalaka. Boom. You're even getting community noted. Keith Olbermann over here, raving lunatic incel. Who lives in his apartment with his cats. Somebody should do a wellness check on Keith Olbermann's cats and dogs. Some devices from Hillary Clinton were, in fact, destroyed by a hammer, according to, CNN, Business Insider, Snopes. Uh-oh. Ladies and gentlemen, can't live in a country like this. Even Joe Rogan is finally losing it. Joe Rogan, endorse Bernie Sanders, man. Come on. This is not some, red hat MAGA wearing dude. The normies are waking up. Everyone is waking up. Everyone sees through it. This is a regime in panic. What do we do about it? You can like, share, and subscribe to help us end communism. It's your boy Benny. See ya.